my friends. Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa Stringworks Man Cave. Got a few things to talk to you about today. More just letting you know where we stand on things than anything else. But we do have a new violin to review and probably going to give it away. So you might want to pay attention to that because the odds are pretty good you could win it, because I think the last time we only had 5 or 6 people enter the contest, if you will. I hate to even call it a contest. It's just a giveaway. I have no need for the thing. So after I do the review and the video on it, I will be sending it off to somebody who can put it to good use. But first thing, let's talk about a couple things here. First of all, I did release a video yesterday on the gas string trimmer sent to me by Wild Badger Power, and it is a 2-cycle string trimmer. I failed to mention that in the video. Didn't really think about it, to be honest with you, because I had never even considered there was such thing as a 4-cycle string trimmer. I honestly never did. I just figured they were all 2 cycles, kind of like chainsaws. You're pretty much all 2 cycles. Though I haven't looked, there's probably a 4-cycle chainsaw available out there too. It's just something I wouldn't think about. The reason is, and you might say, well, why not? You know, I'd rather have a 4-cycle. Well, the thing about a 4-cycle is it takes oil. And generally when you're turning these engines around in different configurations, you know, that oil runs to one side or the other in a 4-cycle, where on a 2-cycle, the oil's mixed with the gas, and it doesn't matter what direction you have the engine. That's why chainsaws are, generally speaking, 2-cycle engines, and you can turn them any direction you want to, and you don't have to worry about the oil, falling into the piston or, getting in a place it shouldn't be, So anyway, I never ever considered the fact that it might be 4-cycle, but that was the main comment on the video was, you didn't tell if it was 2-cycle or 4-cycle. And I'm thinking, why do I need to tell you that? It's a 2-cycle. But obviously, I didn't know that you could get those string trimmers in 4-cycle, but I looked it up, and sure enough, there's a bunch of them out there in 4-cycle. Doesn't even make sense to me. But I don't know everything, obviously. So anyway, it is a 2-cycle. It is a beast. That thing is really a good string trimmer, brush cutter, but it is heavy. It's very heavy. So just know that if you decide to go get one of those, that it's kind of like a chainsaw. If you get a big heavy chainsaw, you can do some work. And this thing here, you can do some work with this thing. So just so you know. I also finished a video this morning on the Violin impact sockets. I've had those for quite a while, but for some reason, I've stumbling on making that video. It just finally dawned on me today. I just need to make the video and forget about it. And so I did. And I think it turned out okay. It's actually a very short video. It's only about 7 minutes long, I think. But anyway, that'll be coming out here maybe yet today or tomorrow on the Violin impact sockets. It's a really good set of sockets too. Again, I don't agree or approve of everything I get. It's just that I try to be very picky and only accept things that I'm pretty sure I'm going to like. I mean, there's no reason to accept something if you know you're not going to like it. I just tell the companies up front, no, thank you. That's not in my line, or that's not going to work out for me, that kind of thing. And I just let it go at that. But anyway, and speaking along those lines, the Gloofy laser cutter, I'm still owe them a video. And I think I figured out why I'm having trouble with that thing. I don't think the fan is kicking on. They have an exhaust fan that takes the smoke away when you're using a laser cutter. Now, keep in mind, I like this Gloofy laser cutter so far, but it keeps giving me errors, and it has a long continuous beep. And I couldn't figure out why it was doing that because everything looked fine. I thought the fan was working because you could hear a fan noise in the machine, but it wasn't the fan, it was the air compressor. It also has air assist to blow air onto your whatever you're cutting. And I was hearing that, thinking that it was the fan. Well, this morning I looked at it closer, and that fan's not turning. So that's probably why I'm getting the errors, because the smoke is building up in there, and it's sensing a fire. And it's not exhausting the smoke out. So anyway, I have a note into Gloofy to find out why that's not working, or if there's something I need to know, because I don't see a switch on it anywhere. I don't see a way to plug it in or unplug it or anything like that. So it looks like it's built into the machine, and it just seems like it should be working, but it doesn't appear to be working. So anyway, that's where I stand on the laser cutter. Let's see. The violin outfit is up next. So let's take a look at that. Now, I'm going to unbox it right here in front of you, because now I won't lie. I did unbox this kind of quickly the other day just to look at it, but I put it right back together. So it's still in the box, basically. So it comes double boxed here, or at least this one did. So we'll take out the outer box, and this is from Vangoa, V-I-N-G-O-A. It's a violin kit. It seems to be a pretty decent outfit, really. So let's take the box off. Now this box, it wasn't tape shut or anything. This inner box, it was just like you're seeing me take it apart here, which is fine. I'm just pointing it out. That's how it came. What I do like about this already is that the case is an oval case rather than a shaped case, like the shape of a violin, if you will. This is an oval case, which is typically a little bit higher end, generally speaking. When you get an oval case like that, they generally cost a little more. Whether that's the case here or not, I don't know. It seems like it's a decent case. It's a light case. I wouldn't call this well, maybe it is. Now, I don't think I'd call it a hard shell case. I'd call it a hard foam case, if you will, is what I would call it. Let's open her up here and see what we got. The catch is a nice catch. It's got a latch on it and a zipper. So we'll unzip it. And we'll unzip the other side. And then when you see it, it looks like a pretty decent outfit. This cloth cover goes over that. Now, this is not put together, so I just thought we're not going to play this or anything right now because it's not put together. But let's take a look at the bow first and see what it looks like. Well, I haven't taken the bow out or anything. I'm going to lay the violin down so I don't drop it. And the bow, excuse me. Well, this part of the bow's octagon up here, but this part is, I say octagon, I think it is. Yeah. This part is round. Sometimes you'll have an octagon go all the way down. If I'm looking at the quality of the wood in this, I'm going to give it about a 6.5, 7 on the quality of the wood. I don't think it's super high quality wood. It's just decent. So it's not bad. It's just nothing to write home about, I guess is what I'm saying. It does appear to be real horsehair, which is nice. I've tightened it up. The tension seems to be real nice. Let me look down it. It's reasonably straight. It's got a little bit of a curve to the left, but that's not unusual. So it's not the straightest bow I've seen, but it's not real crooked either. So it's decent. Again, I'd rate the overall bow at about a 7 on a scale of 1 to 10. So it's not bad. Put it back in its little pouch here. And let's move on to the violin itself. Okay, we'll take the violin out. And at first glance, it looks like, excuse me, it looks like it's a high-end violin. But unfortunately, the what looks like curl is just painted on, as you can see, airbrushed on or whatever. So it's not, I mean, it is real wood, I believe, but it's not, you know, your high-end tiger maple type stuff. But the top does look to be real spruce to me. They have kind of coated over the top where you can't really see the grain very well, but you can see the grain inside of the F-holes here. So I can see that it does look like it's a real wood top. I don't think it's a composite or anything. The peg box and neck, I'm not 100% sure of, but the neck looks like it's real wood also. The fingerboard does look to be real ebony or black wood or something. You know, it's one of those kinds of woods that you would typically find on an instrument. The tailpiece looks to be ebony also. I don't think it's plastic. The chin rest appears to be ebony also. I don't think it's plastic. So on the quality of material all the way around right now, I'd give it about a 7+, somewhere in there. You know, maybe an 8. Probably a 7, I think. I think I'd be more honest if I was saying 7. In terms of the build quality, the way it looks, in terms of, you know, how well everything fits together and all of that, I could probably go higher on that. I'd probably go 8 on that at least. It looks like it's made pretty well. It looks like everything's carved appropriately, sized appropriately, glued up appropriately. Everything looks good there, so I'd give that an 8. The height of the bridge off of the height of the fingerboard off the top, you know, I don't have a tool to measure it with here, but just looking at it, I would say that's pretty close. It looks like it's just about right. The pegs up here, I believe, I can't see it right now, but I thought I saw them being rosewood. But no, I think they're ebony. I don't have enough light in here for my eyes. I have to have a lot of light. I think they're ebony, but they're definitely real wood. They're not plastic or something. So anyway, overall, I'd give the overall fiddle a good strong 7, and I think that's pretty good. The case itself, in terms of what would I rate the case, I'd rate the case at about a 7 also. I don't think it's not bad. Looks like there's maybe a cleaning cloth in here. I don't know what else is included in this. Just take a look and see. It's got a fretboard, a fretboard notation deal here, so you can put this on your actual fingerboard and then kind of know where your notes are and things like that. It's just a guide. I thought I could feel something in here. I don't know what this is. That's why I'm trying to get it out. I think these are the strings, or an extra. Looks like it's an extra set of strings, and then a polishing cloth and an instruction manual. So there you go. So the kit comes, you know, fairly well equipped. Let's see what else, if there's anything else, any other goodies in here. Looks like it. Comes with a shoulder rest. That's nice. We've got 2 bridges. One of them looks like it's been, no, they both look like they've been fitted. So I think they're both ready to go. They're a little bit clunky, but not heavy clunky. I mean, they're, you know, on a scale of 1 to 10, again, I'd give them about a 7, 7.5, something like that. They're not a 10, but they're decent. And the wood on its decent quality also. So I'd give it about a good strong 7 again. It's got some rosin in the package also. Let me see, take a look at the rosin and see what kind we're dealing with here. If I can get it open. Oh, I thought it would unscrew, but it just pulls off. It's a dark rosin. I prefer the light rosins, but I don't know why I do. I just do. I guess I just like the look of it, to be truthful. I don't know that I know the difference in terms of the way it feels, but I prefer the light rosin. Anyway, that snaps together there. It has a violin mute, so you can put this over your bridge when you're learning to play, and it'll quiet the violin down. And, oh, it comes with a chromatic tuner also. Yep, it says chromatic guitar, bass, violin, ukulele tuner D4. So it looks like a decent little tuner. So this kit really comes very complete. In terms of the overall kit, I'd have to give, in terms of it being a kit violin, I'd give it a good strong 8 on it in terms of a kit. You know, what it comes with, how nice the components are, everything. I'd give it a strong 8. Now, I haven't played it yet, so I don't know what it sounds like, and maybe I'd upgrade that higher, but right now, just based on what I see, I'd give it an 8. And of course, maybe I'd downgrade it after we play it. I don't know. But now, of course, I'm going to have to take it in the shop and set it all up and do all that good stuff. But overall, I think it's a definite positive violin kit in terms of somebody new learning to play. And it may be, excuse me, it might be good for even, you know, an intermediate level player. I would consider myself a below beginner level player myself. But anyway, I think that's all I had on the violin, and the only thing I wanted to say about that is if you would like to enter this contest, I'd like to give it away to a young person. You know, I don't want to just give it away for the sake of giving it away. I would like to have it benefit somebody, you know, and I'd like to give it away to a young person that's learning to play. Here's what I'm asking. So write this down, because if you don't include all these things, then you probably won't be in the running. Now, keep in mind, there's probably only going to be 4 or 5 people enter. I mean, at the most, maybe only 2 or 3. You just don't know. So your odds of winning are pretty good. So the point is, you should make sure you include everything I'm going to tell you to include here. So send me a 3 to 5 minute video, 3 to 5 minutes. Don't make it any longer than that. And, you know, you can't hardly say anything in less than 3 minutes. You can, the child can be playing on the video. I would prefer the child to be doing the talking and the playing. You know, if they need to be assisted by an adult, that I understand that. That's okay. I don't have a real problem with that, but I would like to see some interaction with the child itself. In other words, I don't want just a grown-up saying, well, I want this for my grandson because, you know, I'd like to hear the grandson say why he wants it, or the granddaughter. Be sure to include your shipping address in case you win. In other words, at the end of the video, say, in case I win, my shipping address is, and then give me your full name and address, and make sure it's included, because I don't have time to go searching this stuff down. That's just the bottom line. I'm just too darn busy. And I guess that's really it. Just make sure you include those things. So a quick recap, a 3 to 5 minute video. I want to hear the child or young person talking on the video, at least to some degree, and telling me why they want the violin and why they need it. Be sure to include your shipping address. So basically those 3 things. All right, in other news, I still haven't got to Leon's guitar yet. I need to work on that. I need to put the 2 violins that Patty brought up for auction. I got to get that auction going. I haven't got that going yet. My plans for today, I'm still waiting on the coils for that lawn tractor. I think they're coming today, maybe tomorrow. I can't remember now, honestly. They might be tomorrow. But anyway, I'm waiting on those coils for the lawn tractor. Now, interesting enough, in the last video I posted about that, somebody made a nice comment that seemed real helpful. Something I hadn't considered, but it seems very possible. So I said I was maybe 60% sure that these coils would fix the problem. Well, now I'm more like 30% sure that coils will fix the problem. And I'm more like 70% sure that their idea might fix it. And that is, there's a sensor on the carburetor, which I hadn't even considered. I don't know why. Again, because these newer carburetors with these electronic components, I'm not up on that. I'm up on the old school stuff. That old school stuff, I'm your man. I know exactly how it works and how to fix it. But this newer stuff, I don't know that much about it. And so this carburetor on this Kawasaki engine has two wires coming out of this sensor. And I think it's some sort of a fuel shutoff sensor or something like that. And they said those sensors go bad. Well, and they can heat up and cause problems. Well, that really makes a lot of sense. That really does make a lot of sense. So if the coils don't fix my problem, which, like I said, I'm less convinced they will now. I kind of think it's that sensor in the carburetor. I don't know why I never thought of that. Again, it's something I'm not familiar with. But once they said that, I went, oh yeah, there is a sensor on that carburetor. Yeah, that could easily be the problem. And so I have a feeling that's where the problem is. But anyway, there you go. So live and learn, and I'm sure that sensor won't cost much. The whole carburetor doesn't cost that much. So if I have to, I'll buy the whole carburetor. But I should be able to find that sensor, I would imagine. But I'll put the coils on first, test it. If that don't fix it, I'm on to that sensor. Okay, moving on. Let's see. This afternoon also, I'm planning to work on that gloofy laser cutter down there, see if I can't figure out why that fan's not working. And somewhere along the line, Isaac, my grandson, is bringing over a project. He wants me to help him rewind a pull starter on a four-wheeler. So I don't know if you know those recoil pull starters. Those are kind of tricky if you've never done it. I've done it a couple dozen times in my life, I'm sure, if not more. So I know how to do that. He'll be bringing that over, and we'll be working on that today too. So I'm busy all the time. Going to the comments. Captain Bubba looks like he was the first one from California. And DBM 55, I don't remember seeing that name, from Ohio. Glad you're here. Jeff Puris and Captain Bubba. He doesn't have any question marks. Well, he's got one at the end. It says, how many acres of hay ground or tillable acres on your farm and JR's farm? Not that much. The only hay ground is on my farm right now, and total acres, not that much. I'm going to say, I don't know. If it was seeded and planted properly, I'd say 10 to 15 acres. But right now, I would say they're probably getting a yield off about half of that, 6 or 7 acres. That's any good. This ground is poor ground. You have to do a lot to make it work well. And yeah, it costs a lot of money. And JR spent a lot of money on his property thinking that he was going to make it work, and it all failed. He spent all that money he spent on fertilizer and seed and all that stuff. It just went in the toilet. And that's kind of the way it would be here too. It's difficult to make this ground produce. I mean, you can do it. You got to throw a lot of money at it, and then you got to also pray for rain and get some rain on it too, because that's the other problem. Every time you do it and spend the money, as soon as you do that, it's an instant drought. It just works that way. Ask me how I know that, because I've tried it with just food plots, small food plots. You instantly, as soon as I put a food plot out, it just goes straight to a drought. And that's happened, I couldn't tell you how many times, at least a dozen times since I've lived here. But anyway, moving on down. Let's see. David Tharp. Hello, everybody. Almost missed it because I've got a 5-string galvanized mechanical device in pieces trying to get it playable and sounding good. Well, as good as this thing can anyway. Yeah, 5-string galvanized mechanical gadget. Yep, that's what I call them. Mainly because as long as you've got every hand tool that Sears ever produced, you could make those things play any way you want them to. But you got to have a lot of tools to work on those things. Mechanical devices is what I call them. Let's see. Jeff Purist, Bill Rhodes. Yep, isn't that a 52cc? It should be a monster. Yeah, it's a heavy string trimmer. I mean, and it's physically heavy. That's why I weighed it. I wanted you to see that. I would say that steel is kind of maybe the average of the world, if you will. I think that one weighed 13 pounds, and this one weighed like 18 pounds. It slightly less than 5 pounds difference actually, but close to 5 pounds more. So I mean, just 5 pounds by itself. If you're carrying 5 pounds around, that's a good chunk of weight, and you add that to a regular weed eater weight, and now you know you're dealing with some pretty hefty weight. Now, fortunately, that harness lets that thing hang pretty well, and you're carrying the weight on your body. It's not so much like you're carrying it in your arms, so it's not too bad. But you just should know that it does weigh quite a bit. Dottie Hildebrandt, prayers for the Roses. Thank you, Dottie. I appreciate it. And for Mark's quick healing. Yep. Mark amazes me that he's been through what he's been through, and he sounds like he's doing pretty well. David Thorpe, I failed the math test so many times in school, I couldn't even count. Sidecar Bob, hey, I actually made it to the live stream for the first time in a couple of weeks. Well, good. I'm glad you're here. All right, after we went live, Bill Rhodes says, play the violin when I was a kid. I'd like to have a new one. Yeah, well, I guess I'm not completely opposed to giving it to an adult, but I would really like to give it to a young person. To me, that's where it's at. Get the young people going on their music, and there's so many people these days can't afford something. And by the way, it wouldn't hurt to say that in the video if that's the truth. I mean, tell me the truth. I don't want you lying and making up something. Tell me the truth. I can generally spot a fake, video. Trust me, I'm pretty good at that, actually. So be honest. Tell me what you think and why you want it. And we'll go from there. Moving on down. David Tharp. And, of course, you send them to my email address, rosastringworks@gmail.com, in case somebody doesn't know that's on here. rosastringworks@gmail.com. rosastringworks.com. You can get my email address off of my website. All right. David Tharp. I purchased the mandolin course for my grandson, and I'd love to give a violin to his little sister so she can help play it and jam with him. He's getting good thanks to your course. Well, that's good. Glad to hear it. Just submit your video, Hopefully she's old enough that she can talk on it, because I really kind of want that to be part of it. That helps me judge on, where the kid's at and how sincere they are and that whole thing. Ronald Todd, I bought the... This is driving me crazy. I bought the Van Gogh mandolin, and like the fiddle, it seems to be very nice and affordable instrument. I did have to work the saddle down to get good resolution. Happy so far. Well, good. I've seen lots of violin kits. This one's pretty good. It's pretty good. I'm giving it a solid 8 right now. As far as an overall kit package, it could be better than that, but right now that's what I'm giving it. Once I hear it, see how well it sets up and how well it plays and all that, I might up that to a 9. You never know. Moving on down. Hugh O'Connor, why don't you give the fiddle set to the runner-up in the last giveaway? Well, first of all, I don't remember who that was, and it'd be hard to figure that out, to be honest with you, because that was quite a while back, a couple of years ago. And who knows if I could ever find that stuff. Don't get me wrong, it's not a bad idea. It's just that I don't think I could do that. Mark Nedzum is here. I'm still looking to buy a mandolin and do Jerry's course. Found a Washburn but the lady sold it before I could get back from surgery. Well, good luck to you on that, Mark. Mark, if you needed a mandolin, I could loan you one. You're close enough here. I could loan you one if you need one. I'd trust you that far. Not any further than that. Let's see. Sagcar Bob. That's weird. The chat was working, but the video wasn't playing, so I figured it was starting late until I noticed the video's play button. Got no idea what's going on there. Hugh O'Connor, didn't realize you were going to repeat the procedure. Okay. Rod Wintler, any word on JR's early baled hay? No spontaneous combustion, I hope. No, but Sue said she already felt some heat in one or two of the bales. I'm telling you, it'll burn the barn down. I'm worried about it. I really am. And Sue has hers all separated out where nothing's stacked on top of each other, and she has them turned up sideways so that when you turn them on edge, the air gets to them easier or something, or the moisture gets out of them easier. I'm not really sure all about that, but it's more open on the edge. And then she sprinkles them with salt, and that's supposed to help too whenever you have an extra set of green hay like that. So anyway, I'm just hoping JR is taking the same precautions because I've told him about it. I really don't think it's a good idea at all. I have definitely, and I'm not making this up, I've come up on bales, see the smoke coming out of them, and go, whoa, you can't put your hand on it, it's that hot. And you open them up, and they just almost instantly combust because it gets air. And yeah, it's not a good thing. Bill Rhodes, Jerry, I agree with you. I think a young person should get it. Well, thank you. Gary Hayden, Jerry, your cedar rafters are looking good. What's your plan for the roof material and color? Well, I'm going to have a problem getting to that. So I'm glad I've got it covered with a tarp for now because it's probably going to be a little while. And that's okay too because I'm waiting for cooler weather anyway because doing a roof in hot weather ain't no fun. But my plan is I'm going to put the... my shoulder's still bad, real bad. I could tell you about that too. I'm planning to put the cedar across the length or the width of the top, if you will, just cedar boards, kind of like I did the board and batten, except without the battens, just the boards. And I'm thinking about cutting a notch in each one so that they interlap and overlap slightly, just kind of like a mortise you cut or a tenon, I guess. I don't know. You can think of it either way you want to. Like a half tenon and a half mortise on the edge of each one, and you turn one way and you turn the other one the other way. Anyway, they overlap slightly. That way, if they shrink, there won't be an air gap between them. So anyway, I'm planning to put that on to cover it so that on the inside, looking up, all you'll see is cedar. Now, it would be really nice if I had enough 2-inch to do that with, because that way the nails won't come through. I don't have near enough of that. I'd have to do a lot more cutting, and I'm not sure I want to. I might have enough cedar to cover. Well, I'm talking 3/4 inch thick cedar. I could probably say I don't have enough, but I could get close with the 3/4 that I have. Wouldn't have to cut that much more. But the problem is when you drive roofing nails through that, they're going to stick through on the inside, and that's not a good look. So I would probably have to cover that with a 3/4 inch plywood so that it'd be about 1.5 inches thick. Then I'm planning to put cedar shingles on it. shingles are sawn. When you're talking about wood shingles, shingles are sawn on either a sawmill or some other kind of saw, and shakes are split. So I don't want to split it. That's too much work. And well, it's not so much that it's too much work. It's just that I don't like that look necessarily. And I want it to be nice and uniform and even. So I'm planning to saw the shingles, not split them. But I am planning to put hand sawn shingles on it. I could go buy them. I know that. Yeah, I know that. But why do it the easy way? That's all I can say. Let's see. Wavy Gravy. I keep meaning to take the violin more seriously, but so far I just fiddle around with it. Yeah, well, I can definitely relate to that. I don't even fiddle around with it very well. Mark Nadsum. Jerry, you went past my comment. Go back up. Okay. I'm still looking to buy a mandolin and do Jerry's chorus. I found Washburn could. That's the only one I see. Oh, there's another one above it. I'm healing, just still sore. Feels like someone has a cheese grater in my chest. Yeah, I would imagine that. Well, anyway, Mark, been praying for you. Hope everything works out for you there. If you really need one, though, I could loan you one. It's not my favorite thing to loan out instruments, but I could do that if I needed to. Mark Nadsum, LOP. I have no idea what that means. So those are the only comments I see of yours. So anyway, I guess I'm probably going to need to get back down to the shop and get started on that Gloofy laser cutter. Gloofy sounds like goofy, but that is the name of it. And it is a nice laser cutter. I just need to get past the error that I'm having with the, I'm pretty sure it's the fan that's causing that error. Anyway, and I can't find, I've Googled that and nothing comes up for the fan not working on the Gloofy, at least nothing that I've found that makes any sense. So I guess I'm on my own until they reply back, if they reply back. Otherwise, they're going to get kind of an ugly review because right now that's all I got is ugly. Ben Boyd threw one up there. It says, would you consider taking donations so the violin winner could take lessons? Well, that's always a possibility. There's no problem with that if you all feel like that would be a good idea. Just trying to think if what I'm just thinking here is reasonable and feasible. I don't want to throw something out here if it doesn't seem like it's possible. How about if I get 4 or 5 videos, I put them all together, and we'll take a vote on it, where it's not just my decision. Would you all like to do that? Let me hear what you think about that idea. That way you all have some input on it, and I could get your feedback that way. And anyway. Mark Nadsum, call Yolanda's phone. It's about your carb. Sue has her number. Okay, well, we'll try that. But anyway, David Tharp says, public service announcement. If you're in it up to your ears, it's best you keep your mouth shut. Yeah, that's for sure. Yes, let us vote for the winner, Scott Roberts says. Anybody else feel that way, or you don't want to get involved? I think that might work pretty good. I think, if I get 4 or 5, if I only get 1, well, guess who's going to win? But if I get 3 or 4 or 5, it might be cool to let you all see the entries, and then we could, arrive at the decision together. Yes to a vote from Bonita. Okay, well, I think we'll probably go that route. Dottie likes the vote idea, So what Dottie likes, Dottie gets. There you go. That's all I got to say about that. So that's what we'll do. So, again, I'm going to say it one more time real quick, recap it. Send me a 3 to 5 minute video. I would like to see the child either playing and or telling about why they need the violin. And I'd like to see them playing if possible. If possible. I realize that not everybody is up to that point. But, at least I want to hear what their idea is and why they want it. And be sure to include your shipping address. Now, when I put the videos together for public viewing, I won't leave the address in the... I'll edit the videos and cut that part out. So you don't have to worry about that. I'm not going to... When we do the viewing, it'll be unidentifiable, if you will. It'll just be a cute child there saying why they need, the thing. That's all you'll see. You won't have any other way to identify anyone. So there you go. Let's see here. Rod Wentler likes the vote idea. Ronald Todd says raffle. Ben Boyd, voting sounds like a lot of extra work for you, but if you do it, I'll vote. Okay. And then Wavy Gravy, my doctor told me I was as fit as a fiddle. I said, well, that's great. And he said, no, I mean the fiddle in Rosa's chocolate video. Nancy Milwaukee says, I believe you can poll on the community page. Yeah, I think there's a way to take a poll in this live chat. I saw that, I don't know, we did it once before. It's been a while. But yeah, I think the voting thing, we'll do it on a live chat. So what I'll probably do, I'm thinking out loud, so this could change, you understand. But I'll probably take all the videos, put them together, put them in a video that you can see here on the live chat, and then I'll put a voting button out there for a vote. And at least that's the plan right now. And if that works out, that's what we'll do. So, but I think that'll be really cool. And just be sure to get me some videos, guys. Because like I said, your odds of winning are pretty darn good in this contest. It's not... I don't think we're going to get 100 entries. You know what I mean? I mean, like the last time we got, I think 4 or 5, maybe 6. I don't even know if we got 6, So we probably aren't going to get a bunch of entries. Just send them to my email address. Scott Roberts says, I'm as fit as a stand-up bass fiddle. Well, actually, they're pretty stout, so you're doing pretty good. Okay, guys, that's going to be it. We will see you tomorrow with something else. Get those videos coming to me. We'll see you then.